Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today I am going through my hair, finding the locks that are loose, and I'm going to be retightening them. So, a little backstory on my locks. I actually have Micr Locs that I started last year in November, I think it was. Yeah, November. That's when I started my locks. I have this curly hair, and for some reason, it's really hard for my hair to lock up. I've had the hardest time, but I like the way it's turning out. A lot of people, they look at my hair and they say, "What kind of locks do you have?" And I'm like, "I have Micr Locs." They're like, "I've never seen them look like that before." And I'm like, "You probably never will again." But anyway, so long story short, my hair was really pretty in the beginning, locked up. Um, it looked thin. Uh, as you see me on my channel, I wear wigs. Um, I've always worn big hair. I always had some hair under the wigs, but I've always worn big hair, big wigs and long hair and stuff like that. So when I first started my locks, I didn't like the look of it. Let me take that back. Okay, so when she first did it, I really liked it. But then when she styled it, she was like, "Let me style it up for you," because she knew the type of hair that I had. She wanted to put it in some barrels or something. So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try it." I didn't like it. Because it was fresh, it looked so scalpy, and I hate the scalpy look on myself. It's cute when I see other people's hair like that, but for me, I just I can't do the scalpy look. So anyway, as soon as I got home, looked in the mirror, I was like, I'm taking this down. So I took them barrels down and I just started planning and stuff. And it was just looking thin, too thin for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it in the updo. Because I really wanted to wear my locks, trying to get away from the wigs and stuff. So I was like, I'm just going to do an updo in the morning myself and do what I can do. That's what I did. It turned out cute and I wore it. But my locks over the days, they started to fluffing up, which I like because that's how I like my hair. You know, I like big hair. So I was excited about them fluffing up. But then when I went back to my loctician, I want to say because it was new, I had to go back to her, I want to say maybe 2 weeks and get my hair shampoo because she was like, I don't want you to shampoo your hair yourself because your hair is curly and it's going to unravel, it's going to come down. So the way the Micr Locs are done, at least the way that my loctician does them. I don't know how anybody else does them, but the way they're done is they start out like interlocked at the root, so like sister locks at the root, and then they come down to the end. They're just a two-strand twist. So because I have curly hair, that was coming loose, and I think what was making it come loose even faster was the fact that I was steady spritzing water on it. And so it was just unraveling. So by the time I went back to her, everybody was like, "Oh, your hair is cute. I like those locks. Oh, who did your hair? Whatever, whatever." So by the time I went back to her, she was like, well, "What have you done to your hair?" I was like, "Nothing." She was like, "Have you been braiding it up?" I'm like, "Yeah," but I'm like, at nighttime, but I've been wearing it down in the daytime. And she was like, "Well, what else have you been doing to it? Because it's wrapping like too fast." So I was like, "I just been spritzing the water on it." She's like, "Okay, that's what you're doing." So she was like, "What I'm gonna need you to do is don't put no more water on it. Just keep it braided down." I'm like, "So that means I gotta put my wig back on." She was like, "Yeah, if you want your hair to lock up, you're gonna have to let it do what it does. So you're probably gonna have to protect it for a minute until they lock up the way they should." Cool. I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna have to wear my wigs again." So I did that and had my hair just braided down in like a few braids and then wore my wigs every day. And then I was just like, I started watching TikTok, watching everybody else say Micr Locs, see how they were doing. I was like, well, my hair can't do that. So I was like, I'm gonna wear it down on the weekend, see if I can do something with it and see how it's doing. So that's what I was doing. But every time I went back to her, she was having to redo them. And she was like, well, actually, you know what? It's cute like this. If this is how you want it, it's cute because I have seen one other person It liked her hair, curly at the ends. And I was like, okay, as long as it's being interlocked at the roots, it should just, go down and be able to be, locked and stay there and then be a little curly at the end. I can deal with that. So that's what I was doing. So anyway, I'm 6 months in. Um, I go to her every 6 weeks for a retightening. But because of the way that my hair is, and I wear my hair out a lot more now, um, I have figured out how to retighten my hair. I actually watched some YouTube videos and I asked her if that was correct. She was like, yes. So I ordered me this little set of lock needles. And so that's what I've been doing lately is I've been using this lock needle and I have been, retightening locks as I see them come loose inside my hair. So right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just look inside, feel inside here. Actually, I can feel it, and I can feel the ones that are loose, feel like they're coming loose. And I always have some. Like every time I go to her, I have some that are like halfway loose, and I think it's because I'm not supposed to be putting a lot of water on my hair. I don't put a lot on it, but I still do because I just feel like I don't know. I just don't do what people do what's supposed to do. I should be, but I don't. I'm supposed to be tying up at nighttime, but I found that everybody knows their hair, and I found that when I was tying my hair down every night, it was not locking up like it should. It just wasn't. Um, I know I'm supposed to protect my hair, and it was protecting it, but it was keeping it soft, and so I feel like they were coming to loose even easier. And they didn't feel like, and they didn't look like the messy look that I wanted, that I was wanting to go for. So I started just sleeping on it, and then when I just started sleeping on it, it started looking better. But anyway, so what I'm about to do now is I'm about to show you guys how I retighten the locks that are loose before it's actually time for me to go back and get my hair retightened. Because I don't want to just let it go and then when I get to her, they like all the way out. Because when I first started out, some of my locks was like all this was out and it was on like a little bit hanging on at the end. So that being said, let's get into this. I'm gonna show you how I retighten my locks until I get to my loctician. This is my lock needle that I'm using. It's the smallest one that's in the set. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to find a lock that needs to be retightened. First I'm going to roll it and twist it. It kind of works better if you do it when it's a little damp. Then I'm going to take it to the end and thread my lock through the needle. Now I'm going to go up through the loose part and I'm going to pull down because that is the direction that I want my locks to go in. Then I will take it and I will go in through the side and I'm just going to pull it through and pull it tight. You will repeat this pattern going up top and to the side. You're just going to keep doing it until you have it as tight as you want it and going in the direction that you want the lock to lay.